The summer of 2017, 7 New Zealand university students were searching for a secret natural pool in a forest. At that moment, a sharp alarm sounded from afar, and the young people exchanged worried glances, not knowing what was happening. The alarm continued for about 30 seconds, then stopped, and unaware, they continued forward. But what they didn't know was that the alarm was their last warning before stepping into a death trap. Hello everyone. Welcome to Brian Crime TV. I'm Brian. This story took place early on February 6, 2017, when 7 New Zealand university students planned to drive back to their school in Auckland. Just the past weekend, they attended a waterside music festival party. They got up early that day because February 6th is an important holiday in New Zealand called Waitangi Day, which commemorates the signing of the Treaty of Waitangi, a treaty considered New Zealand's founding document. So it is often understood as their national day. Therefore, the group planned to find a place to celebrate on their way back. At this moment, a girl named Rachel Durong said she knew a secret natural swimming spot where the water was emerald green with beautiful scenery, which she recently found by chance with a friend. And it was only a 15-minute drive from them, right on the way back to Auckland. So, the youth agreed instantly, deciding to head out immediately. Rachel's spot was on the middle section of the Waikato River. The Waikato River is the longest river in New Zealand, originating from the eastern slopes of Lake Roapai and eventually flowing into Lake Taupo. Overall, the river is very deep, with fast currents, but the natural pool Rachel mentioned was located deep in a forest. Though part of the Waikato River, it was relatively shallow and mostly calm. Around 11:40 in the morning, the group arrived by car at the starting point, where there was no official road, but Rachel knew a dirt path used by locals, just a 20-minute walk to the lake. So led by her, the group started crossing the forest. By 11:55, just as they neared the lake, a sudden loud piercing alarm rang from a distance, and everyone stopped, looking at each other, but nobody understood what the alarm meant. After about 30 seconds, the alarm suddenly stopped, leaving the group confused, who just shrugged and continued forward. About a minute later, their view suddenly opened up, and they had reached the riverbank. Just as Rachel said, the water was crystal clear, surrounded by green trees, looking like a huge, natural swimming pool. They eagerly changed into swimwear and jumped into the icy water. In the middle of the river stood 2 huge rocks, like 2 natural islands, and 5 girls, including Rachel, climbed onto one of them. The 2 boys climbed onto the other rock at 11:58. Just as they began looking around, the piercing alarm sounded again, exactly like before on the dirt path. So they exchanged glances once more. Someone wanted to figure out what the alarm was for. They looked around, seeing everything peaceful, with no sign of danger. After about 30 seconds, the alarm stopped again, and they ignored it. Rachel took out a camera and started taking pictures of friends, and one friend took this photo of her. In the photo, Rachel smiled at the camera, her young face shining brightly in the sun. Oh, what no one expected was, this would be Rachel's last photo on Earth. 2 minutes later, at exactly 12 o'clock, the harsh alarm sounded again, ringing through the forest for the 3rd time. This alarm seemed especially loud and piercing, but because of the previous 2, no one took it seriously. Sure enough, the alarm stopped after about 30 seconds. However, at the same time, they heard another dull sound, coming from the same direction as the alarms, which was upstream of the river. Everyone looked toward where the sound came from. As the sound grew louder, they finally saw a towering white wall of water, rushing down the river, carrying mist that hit them face on. Before they could react to what was happening, the river water was visibly rising fast. Very quickly, the rocks they stood on were submerged. At first, they thought this wouldn't last long, so they decided to wait it out. Because the current was very strong, they knew jumping in would be dangerous, likely fatal. But soon, the water reached their calves, and the current showed no signs of slowing. At this point, they began to panic, feeling they would be swept away if they kept waiting, for sure. So they decided to save themselves, with two boys now on a higher rock, connected to the land. So, they were temporarily safe. They shouted to the five girls, "Swim over here quickly, we'll pull you up." But the five girls saw the raging water and felt utterly unsure, then quickly discussed. Their only chance was for the girls to jump across and grab the boys' outstretched arms. This photo was taken by other visitors at the scene. Rachel was the first to step forward, making a strong leap, just grabbing a male companion's arm, and was pulled to safety. Her success encouraged the other four girls, and the second girl also jumped across, then the third. Two girls remained in danger, as water levels rose, making it hard to stand in the river. The fourth girl gave a desperate leap, grasping a boy's arm opposite her, but the strong momentum caused both to lose balance and fall into the river. Rachel stayed very calm at this moment, not panicking over the companion falling. He stepped onto the boy's spot and took out a selfie stick. He called to the last girl, Alice. "Alice, jump here, grab the stick, it'll pull you up." Alice had no choice, and jumped with all her strength. Her hand got closer to the stick. Time seemed to slow, and at the last moment, she grabbed the stick, but the strong current made her lose hold instantly. At this moment, Rachel on shore didn't hesitate, jumping in to grab Alice. Then tried to grab a nearby rock with his other hand, but failed. Both got swept downstream, until they disappeared from sight. At this point, you probably guessed what happened. It turned out that 200 meters upstream, there was a dam, which opened gates daily to release water, letting about 20,000 gallons per second downstream, each opening lasting about 15 minutes, with alarms ringing 5 minutes, 3 minutes and 1 minute before release. Flood warning sirens sounded. These were the 3 alarms Rachel and friends heard, and the reason for the release might surprise everyone. The dam was opened to show visitors what the river looked like before the dam was built. Let's look at the dam's location, where the upstream river channel is wide, while downstream narrows quickly. So before the dam was built, this was a rapid water area. Many might now wonder, if this place was so dangerous, why was there no warning sign? Imagine, if there had been a warning sign first, alerting these young people, then hearing the alarm, would make them realize what was coming, instead of being unaware of the danger. Actually, there was originally a warning sign, clearly stating this was a danger zone, urging visitors not to enter casually, especially not to swim. But 2 weeks before the accident, the sign was stolen, and the authorities knew, but did nothing. This negligence led to this accident. In the end, the 3 friends not swept away, along with witnesses on shore, called the police. Police immediately dispatched rescuers and found all 4 downstream, with 3 miraculously surviving. Rachel was found without video evidence, but a witness recorded the entire accident on video, which went viral online, sparking public outcry in New Zealand. At Rachel's father's request, media removed all related videos. In an interview, the father said, "Rachel was a bright and kind girl who loved outdoor sports, always thinking of helping others, and the family and friends were heartbroken over her death. He did not want the last images of his daughter's life to remain online permanently like this." After this accident, the New Zealand government restored warning signs and blocked the dirt road entrance. However, all this came too late for the 21-year-old girl who heroically jumped in to save her friends. As summer approaches, More people in the country go to rivers to play and cool off. Brian, I want to take this chance to remind everyone to stay away from places that seem risky, but are truly unsafe. Life happens once. So I wish everyone a happy summer. See you in the next episode.